Now, with other stuff and no music, here's the girl.
All right, the presidential candidates haven't even had one debate, and some people in some states have already voted. And the result of some accusations of voter fraud is already happening.
John, your brand new book talks about this, and John Fund wrote about it in that book, calling Stealing Elections, How Voter Fraud Threatens Our Democracy. Joining us now from the Wall Street Journal, columnist and Fox News contributor John Fund. John, what have you picked up already?
Well, it's a horror story. In Pennsylvania, a former Acorn employee indicted for perjury. In North Carolina, Acorn caught registering a 14-year-old boy.
Tell our audience what Acorn is in case they don't know.
Acorn is a left-wing group that Barack Obama used to be the lawyer for, and he was also their top trainer at their annual conferences. This is a group that is interested in poverty rights, public housing rights. They also got a lot of money from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac for community organizing.
And you maintain that they are going about voter registration in a possibly fraudulent manner.
There's a record for 10 years of them having voter registration problems. People from Acorn indicted and convicted in Washington, Kansas City, St. Louis. In Wisconsin, 37 Acorn employees currently under investigation for voter fraud. In Texas, 2 out of 5 of their voter registrations are suspect and have been put aside for investigation.
And I mean, while these may sound like isolated incidents to people listening out there,
they're in a dozen states that are...
Absolutely, they're in a dozen states, and here's what should send a shiver down the spine of everyone listening. You say there is a 1 in 3 chance that we will see a repeat of the Florida 2000 recount in this election.
We have a problem because a whole bunch of new voters are coming to the polls. That's good. The bad part is so many of these registrations are suspect or might fall through the cracks simply because the election officials can't handle them. People are going to show up at the polls and their name won't be on the list. That means they have to be handed this year for the first time a provisional ballot, which is separated out and counted later. Well, here's the problem. Let's say the whole election is so close it hinges on Pennsylvania and McCain or Obama ahead by 20,000 votes. If there are 100,000 provisional votes, all the lawyers are going to sue over whether or not those votes should be counted, the provisional votes, and who they should be counted for.
But John, what's different this time? I mean, you wrote your book, you talk about election fraud and the potential, but what are you seeing now that makes it different and it gives you more concern?
I am seeing more lawyers than ever waiting to jump into this and sue on both sides. I think Obama has 9,000 lawyers at his disposal. McCain has 5,000. 14,000 lawyers are not good for our democracy because I think we're going to go into a situation where any time the margin of victory is less than the margin in which you can sue for or over, we're going to have Florida-style recounts, lawsuits all over the place. Multiple states. I don't know which ones.
All right, John Fund, we're going to talk to you again and again and again. Congratulations on your new book, and hopefully there wouldn't be a reason to write it, but unfortunately there's a reason to write it and maybe a sequel.
I hope we don't have to go into overtime and I have to come back.
All right.
I suspect we'll see you again in the next 41 days.